What's up, you guys? Welcome back to this week's One Piece chapter review, and in this week's video we're going to be talking about One Piece chapter 909. Now, the chapter starts off with Nekomamushi and a couple of his mink bodyguards reaching the island that Marco the Phoenix is supposedly on. Now, we learn that Marco the Phoenix is situated in a village behind a waterfall in a cave, and we see Marco using his Flames of Restoration from his Devil Fruit ability to heal some creatures in the village and several other villagers themselves. Now, I've got to be honest, I think that the civilian life really suits Marco the Phoenix. He, in my opinion, he's never really had a cold personality. He's not really a violent person. And, you know, honestly, from the way he dresses and his own character design, he's a very laid-back guy that you wouldn't really view as a pirate from first glance. And he just has that nice personality about him. He's really laid back. Another thing we learn about the village is that this was the village that Whitebeard grew up in. And throughout Whitebeard's career as a pirate, he's always sent back his money to the village secretly. And, you know, despite whatever misgivings he might have with his crew, you know, drinking their liquor and alcohol and eating their food, they all knew that he sent this money back to his village, and that at the end of the day he still cared about his home village. And after Whitebeard's death, after the Summit War, after getting beaten and scattered by Blackbeard, his crew tried their best to protect all these things that were dear to Whitebeard, and Blackbeard pretty much beat them at every turn. But Marco the Phoenix made sure that this village, one of the last real jewels of Whitebeard's, was supposed to remain protected. And, you know, even that is not going to last forever, because, you know, Marco the Phoenix acknowledges that Edward Weevil is coming for him and that he might discover this village. And when it comes to Edward Weevil, Marco the Phoenix also gives his 2 cents. He is kind of up in the air of whether Edward Weevil is legit Whitebeard's son. He thinks it's unlikely, but we also learn from Marco the Phoenix that Edward Weevil's mom did sail with Whitebeard decades ago. So there is a possibility that they had like a one-night stand or something. I'm not gonna be the one to just flat out deny the possibility of it, but and what I mean by that, I'm not going to deny the impossibility of it, is, you know, there's a lot of characters in One Piece where, you know, the parents are these great legends, and then their children are just not quite, up to the same stuff, or, you know, at least not personality-wise matching their parents. We have people like Monkey D. Luffy, who is the son of Monkey D. Dragon. And Monkey D. Dragon, at least as far as we have seen, is a very serious person. And then you look at Luffy and, well, you know, Luffy like half the time is like full-on retard. So, just because Edward Weevil acts like an absolute idiot half the time and he is a tool of his mother, it doesn't mean that he's not Whitebeard's son. It doesn't disqualify him from being Whitebeard's son. It's just, you know, sometimes the children don't inherit the personalities or the coolness of their parents. And Edward Weevil could be a perfect example of that. Another thing I want to talk about is that we do see Wano country. And to be honest, I don't know about you, but I had the impression that Wano country was an absolute wreck. I was imagining, you know, half of Wano country in ruins and flames and there being chaos, because, you know, we do see in I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to say his name correctly, Momonosuke. We do see in his flashback of Kaido flames and everything like that, and we do hear that Kaido and his crew, you know, invaded Wano country and they are pretty much running things in Wano country. I was under the impression that Kaido and his crew kind of just came in, fucked up Wano country, and, you know, was ruling over the ruins. But as we see in this chapter, Wano country's doing fine. You know, there's all these extravagant buildings, all the citizens are doing fine, they're, you know, They're enjoying these luxuries. They're dressed very elegantly, and we see Robin, we see Usopp, we see Frankie, we see Kinemon, and we even see Zoro in Wano country trying to lay low. Except for Zoro, he has their most famous country swordsman's sword, and that's the kind of difficult thing to hide. You know, I don't think he really thought too much about that. I don't think it really crossed his mind that he's entering Wano country with one of their legendary heroes' swords, and that they would actually give three shits about it. But also, we see in Wano country that, like, the justice system is completely fucked because, you know, they're just like, there's no way you could have beat this guy. There's no way you could have gotten his sword. You must have stole it from his grave, and you must have stole the body too. You know, and you must have killed all these people in this country. When the fact of the matter, the murderer was right there looking at the sword and was pretty much thinking of pocketing it himself. But if I'm being honest, I literally thought Wano country was going to be a wreck. You know, they said Kaido invaded the thing and that he took over and that he has people in top places. And judging from the kids' flashback, I was thinking that there was, you know, a lot of destruction going on in there. But I'm legit excited to see what's gonna happen in Wano, in the Wano arc, because I want to see just how strong these samurai are, and I want to see just who Kaido has in the top seats of Wano country. Who does he have that is over Wano country at this point in moment right now? Because, you know, the world government, they are not particularly eager to fuck with Wano country. They're not particularly eager to fuck with these samurai. Pirates are not particularly eager to fuck with these samurai except Kaido. So it just makes me wonder, how strong are these samurai? How strong is Kaido's crew? Who does he have ruling it? Are we going to see the other two calamities besides Jack? Is Jack going to be in Wano country? We also see Zoro, you know, he's ordered to commit seppuku for murders that I believe he didn't even do in the first place. And, you know, he just destroys everything with just a freaking knife. And that just goes to show you just how strong Zoro is. And that's why one reason I'm excited for the Wano arc is mainly because of Zoro. And, you know, don't get me wrong, I like seeing Luffy fight. I like Luffy. But out of all the Straw Hats, Zoro is my favorite character. And I like Zoro's fights most of all because, one, I like swords. And two, Zoro's fights are the most epic of all time. You know, granted, Luffy fights like the strongest opponents and the coolest opponents most of the time. So his fights are naturally going to be, in a lot of people's opinion, more cooler than Zoro's fights. But I think Wano arc and Wano country this is going to be Zoro's moment to shine. I'm happy to see Usopp, Robin, and Frankie and Kinemon blending in, but they really have to blend in at this point because, one, Luffy and his crew already kind of fucked up their stealth approach to Big Mom's territory. Big Mom spotted them from a mile away, and Big Mom's just gunning for them right at this point. So what Kinemon, Frankie, Usopp, and the rest of the Straw Hats that are in Wano country have to do is they have to lay low. They have to pretty much blend in with the population, wait for Luffy and the rest of the crew to get there, and then start raising hell. And I think that's important that they do lay low, because one, the only reason that that whole Totland arc was so successful is because of the fact that Luffy was there. It was because of the fact that Jinbei was there. It was because of the fact that Capone Beige was there. It was because of the fact that they had a lot of help and a lot of luck on their side. It was because of the fact they had Germa 66 there. They had a lot of people there to not only distract Big Mom, not only to, you know, buy them more time, but they had a lot of people within Totland who was, you know, dissatisfied with Big Mom herself. Whether it was Pudding, who is dissatisfied with her mom's bullying of her third eye, or whether it was Katakuri, who I believe let Luffy win their fight. they had a lot of help going in, and they had a lot of incompetence on Big Mom's side of her crew as well. Whether it was, you know, Charlotte Opera not reporting to Big Mom that they escaped from their, from the books, or, you know, whether it was people like Bobbin who really underestimated Sanji's strength, who really underestimated the fact that Capone Beige, with his history of taking out the heads of other groups and so on and so forth and just causing chaos wherever he went, that they would accept him as a subordinate or as an ally to Big Mom just because he married their daughter. I mean, it just seemed like incompetence to me, and they didn't really check all their possible scenarios that could have happened in Thailand, that could have happened with Big Mom. I think Big Mom's crew was just like, well, Big Mom's Yonko. There's no way anybody could, you know, possibly screw us over. And now they've been screwed over, and it's just a big point of embarrassment. And I really don't think the same thing is going to happen in Wano country. Because I really don't think in Wano country that these samurai are going to be as incompetent as Big Mom's crew. And I think with Kaido's crew, you can say what you want about Jack the Drought. You can say what you want about Kaido being an emotional wreck. But I think if there's one thing you can give them is they're thorough. When Jack the Drought attacked the Mink tribe, he did not take no for an answer. He did not take any of their bullshit for an answer. He didn't just say, oh, well, you guys say he isn't here, I'm just going to go then. No, he attacked the Mink tribe with everything he had for several days, several nights. And he was insistent upon the fact that they had Raizo. And even when Nekomamushi and, you know, the dog Duke, you know, was fighting him day and night, back and forth, he still kept on at it. He still did not buy their lies that Raizo wasn't there. And he nuked the place with gas. He freaking butchered everyone, then left. And then he came right back and tried to finish up the job to get Raizo back. He not only did that, but he also tried to rescue Doflamingo. He got beat there. But you have to give Jack the Drought credit. He is persistent. He stays on his target. He stays on his goal, no matter what the case is, no matter what type of obstacle he faces. And if that is the type of determination that Kaido's crew has going forward, then I think Luffy and his crew are going to find themselves in a lot different of a scenario than they did with Big Mom. And with Big Mom, one of her things is she's invulnerable to almost all attacks. You know, Brook hit her with a spinning attack, hit her square on the chest. It didn't do anything. Luffy hit her with a Gear 4th strike. She blocked it with a hockey strike. The only thing that really can hurt Big Mom at this point is her eating disorder and being disoriented from seeing Mother Caramel's painting. And we saw even when Mother Caramel's painting was destroyed, her hockey scream was enough to destroy most of the surroundings nearby and missiles being launched directly at her. So you know, Big Mom's careless, but she is a freaking tank, and she's a very hard tank to beat. But Kaido, he is... You can argue Kaido is a tank as well, but Kaido is a brute force tank. Big Mom, she relies heavily on her devil fruit power to get the job done when things get serious. Like when she tried to use Hocus Pocus on Jinbei in front of everybody at the wedding party, and Jinbei stood his ground and Soul Pocus didn't affect him. Now, Kaido, I don't think he's going to go for the same type of BS. I don't think Kaido is going to be the same type of guy that is going to allow himself to get made a fool of like Big Mom did. And I don't think Kaido will accept the same type of failure within his crew. This is VM. What do you think is going to happen in Wano Country? I know this video is really long, but there's a lot of things I like to talk about and a lot of thoughts I want to get out there about Big Mom and Wano Country and all these other things. But I think Zoro just, you know, fucking shit up in Wano Country is a great way to start the arc off. This is VM. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Bye.